Hey, what's cracking? How are you doing today? How are you doing today? I hope you're doing good, man. I'm doing pretty good. It's cold as hell outside, but I'm in here. I'm not too hot. I'm not too cold. Got something to drink, something to eat. I can breathe. Not at the hospital visiting no one today. Everybody I love is okay. So it's a good day for me. And I hope it's a good day for you. And if it is, what's more is I hope you realize that it's a good day for you. We worry a lot about what happened in the past, things we can't change. We worry a lot about the future, things that we can't change. It's going to happen one way or another, good or bad. You're going to deal with it as it comes. And we forget about right now. And right now, I'm okay. And I feel blessed for that. And I hope you do as well. If you've never watched one of my videos, my name is Ricky Dye, and I went to prison when I was 15 years old in the state of Oklahoma. And I was there for 20 years, 5 months, and 29 days. I thought about staying one more day to make it an even 20 and a half years. No, I'm joking. I didn't think about staying one more minute, but I think that's funny to say that, and I say it from time to time. But I can't do anything to change what I did when I was 15 that put me in prison. We would all like to go back and change our past, change the things we did wrong, but we can't do that. And so I want to try to do the next best thing. I'm going to try to take the experiences that I went through, things that I faced, try to use it for good, share it with other people, hopefully to keep them from making the same mistake. But if they do make the same mistake, to remember that no matter what the situation you are is whatever the situation you are in may be. Excuse me, I don't edit my videos. If I mess up, I mess up, baby. So you got to bear with me. But whatever situation you're in, as long as you're alive, there's a chance things can get better. So don't ever give up, no matter what situation you may find yourself in. It's what my videos are all about. I started at the beginning with what happened to me when I was 15 years old, what led to me going to prison, how I ended up in prison with grown men as a kid, and the whole experience, what it's been like. It's like a series. I've tried to do it in order, but I do hop around from time to time. You'll enjoy them best if you start at the beginning. But bear in mind that in the first few videos, I didn't have good equipment. The sound is bad. I did get them remade. You can find them in better fashion if you look through there. Same video with better sound. And in the beginning, kind of went off on rants, listened to the subscribers, took any advice I got, and I like to think the videos got better as we go along. But that's up to you to decide. Today, I want to talk about something that I haven't really went into depth on before. And it's the difference in the different prisons you're at. And really, people watch my videos, and it's easy to watch my videos or someone else's and say, well, if you go to Oklahoma prison, that's what Oklahoma prison's like. If you go to California prison, that's what California prison's like. But they're not all the same, not by any stretch of the imagination. I hear other guys talk about what prison was like, and some of the things they tell me amazes me, just like some of the things I say may amaze people that have never been to prison. And so I wanted to go into some of that today and talk about that. And that's where I'm going to get started. I call the video Chameleon, Changing to Survive Prison, because that's truly what you have to do. There are some people that go to prison and they're there 5 or 10 years and they may never have a fight, never have any trouble. So the people like me, when I was young, I got into bad things and I was always in trouble. Uh, so it really depends on the prison you're at. So back when I was at Lexington, it wasn't the roughest at prisons when I first got there when I was 17, but you were definitely tested. But then they changed it later on to more like an old folks yard, more or less. You had to be at least 40 years old to go on that yard. You had to be on level 4 to go to that yard. You had to have not had a write-up for 2 years to go to that yard. And if you went to that yard and got in trouble, you immediately get shipped to a rougher one. If you get to a place like that, everyone's trying to stay out of trouble. It's like being in a little town on a little college campus. No one wants to leave. Everyone's trying to get along. And you don't have to worry about things for the most part. You just have to do your time. And I talk about a lot about sometimes about how bad the food is. And the food is horrible, no matter which yard you're on. And you got some people that, they say that's not right, that the food's so bad. And you got other people say, one guy got in the comments, I don't feel sorry for any of you, blah, 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 blah. So let me tell you off the bat that it's never my intention to get you to feel sorry for me at all, me or any other prisoner. I would rather have your hate than your pity. I hate to say it that way, but I don't want no one feeling sorry for me. As we travel through our lives, from the time that you are old enough to make a decision. When your mama tells you don't do this or don't do that, or your dad or whoever, and in your mind you're able to make a conscious decision that you know that you shouldn't do that, but you're going to do it anyway. There are those of us who follow through life and we follow the rules. We do what we're told to do because that's what you should do as far as you're concerned. And you have other people that go through life that cannot stand to be told what to do. These things are fashion and formed when we're children, and we carry them throughout our lives. Sometimes through hardships and hard heads, eventually we learn to follow the rules because we realize it's bad for us if we don't. But from the time you're old enough to make that decision, it's up to you what rooms you walk through in this life. And that's all it is, different rooms that you walk through as you walk through this world. And which rooms you walk through, it depends on you, man. Decisions you make. I knew not to be at that store that night. Let me tell you, I wasn't a bad kid before that happened. Before that happened, I went to church every Wednesday and Sunday with my grandmother. I had never been away from home except for the church camp that I went to every year. I was in the church choir. I went around little singing groups, singing at different churches. I had all A's in school with the exception of just a few B's. I was first string in every sport and everyone liked me. Everyone in town loved me. All my friends' parents loved me. I would stay the night with my friends, but wouldn't let them stay the night with me because I was ashamed of being poor. No one could have seen what I did coming because I was the all-American kid. I surprised everybody. And I shouldn't have been there. I knew better than to be there. Whether I deserved going to prison for 20 years at the age of 15, well, that's beside the point. I already did it. Think I deserve it? Well, then I done it for you. If you think I didn't deserve it, I did it anyway. So, the next thing is, it doesn't make you tough because you've been to prison. You're not tougher because you survived something. If you got put in that situation, hopefully you'll survive it too. Will you do it the way I did it? I don't know. Maybe you can do it a better way. You won't be in there near as long. I used to tell my mom, if I was in prison, I'd do this for you and I'd do that for you. And she said, son, if I was in there, you wouldn't have to do nothing for me because I would follow the rules and get out of there. She was right. But I was looking at it from my point of view. If you was in here, I'd do this for you and I'd do that for you. It's always from our own point of view, isn't it? But we don't see ourselves the way the world sees us. Okay? So you have to remember that you don't always, people don't see you the way you see yourself. I was on a yard, I was running around with this black dude, me and him were tight. This older racist white guy pulls me up, tells me I'm a N-word. And I started laughing because I'm white. What are you talking about, dude? He's racist, black dudes are this. No, I'm right there with them, you know what I'm saying? These black dudes, because I hang out with them. I started laughing, man. I said, why are you saying that? He said, because that's who you hang out with all the time are them N-words. I'm like, dude, I don't feel the way you do, man. I don't feel that way about those guys, man. They're just people like me. But he didn't feel that way, and as far as he is concerned, if I'm running around with the blacks, I am a black, And that's how he seen me, because I had a black friend. Then you got these other black guys. They think I'm cool because I'm hanging out with other black guys. And you got other white guys that see me hanging out with a black guy, and they don't care because they see them as people too. And that's how it is on the different yards you go to in prison. You may go to one yard where people don't care. I've had yards where I have black friends and I sat with them in the chow hall. But there's other yards where that is not allowed. I don't not do it because, I'm scared of them. It's because you find yourself in a different situation where the rules are different. Now, I heard one guy say, I said in my video about I was in lockup. Since I had to be in lockup anyhow, I refused to have a cellie. I done told the police, you ain't bringing nobody in the cell. I don't care who they are. Good dude, bad dude, black dude, white dude, I ain't gonna smell nobody's farts, put no towel up while someone shits. If I'm gonna have to be in lockup and be by myself. When they bring the guy to the cell, he'd be in cuffs, and I would tell him, I'm not gonna cuff up. If you let them put you in here, I'm gonna take off on you with the cuffs on. Now he said in their state, you can't refuse to cell like that. You can't do that. You have to just let them come in and handle in the cell. Okay, if you're on the yard and you're a white guy and you're in a cell and you don't have a cellie and they're bringing a black dude into your cell. Now the black dudes don't give a shit. They'll move in with a white dude, some of them. But if you're already in the cell, you got to tell the black dude, you can't move in here. We're going to have to fight for the cell. And if the black dude moves in anyhow, you have to fight him because you're not allowed to live with a black guy if you're white. Okay. Now, if the black dude's in the cell first, then you have to refuse to cell with him. You have to. Well, if you like the dude and you're friends, you have to refuse to go in the cell with him, go to lockup, because that was his cell. You don't disrespect him by coming in there anyhow and then fighting for it. It's his cell. You don't disrespect him by coming in anyway. There's a lot of black dudes feel that way. There's a lot of older black dudes that are racist, don't want no white nowhere near them, say we stink like wet dogs. So you got racism from both sides. You've got black people that are racist and white people that are racist. And it's just like out here in the world. Sometimes you run into them and sometimes you don't. The difference in prison is if you're on a yard where people don't really give a shit about racism, where you could sit in the chow hall with a black dude and no one really says nothing. But if you go and you cell with a black dude, maybe no one says nothing on that yard, but when you go to the next yard, maybe you're around a group of white guys, Aryans or whatever on that yard that really don't care. And they don't say nothing. But maybe you go on a yard where there are some racist white guys, and that's all it takes. They bring that up, and now you're victim, you're target. But the thing is, with those kind of guys, what you usually find is they're just looking for a reason to make you a victim and a target anyway. But sometimes you fly under the radar and you don't run into those guys by avoiding doing things that are against the rules in prison. Now, these rules, who makes these rules? If it's okay on one yard, it's not okay on another yard, who decides? Who decides? Really? There's no set rule book. You can call any prison in the state of Oklahoma or any other state. You can Google it right now. You can type in prison handbook and the name of the prison, and you can download a copy of the inmate handbook. You'll get one of these on any yard you go to. They'll give you the handbook, tell you this is the rules here. And that tells you what you got to do as far as the prison is concerned, to not get a write-up, to get a level, what they expect, want your bed made every day by a certain time, things like that. Some prisons don't give a shit if you make your bed. Others do. They'll check your bed. It better be made or you lose your level over it. Just depends on the prison like everywhere else. So maybe you go to a prison where people don't care about racism. Shit don't matter. Be friends with who you want, bunk with who you want, cell with who you want, eat with who you want. You might never have a fight, never have a trouble. No trouble with anyone. You might go to another yard where you cannot sit with the blacks in the chow hall. You cannot sell with the blacks in the chow. You cannot sell with a black guy. And who makes these rules? Usually it's the strongest at the place. So maybe you get to a place, if you're white, and remember my perspective is from a white perspective because I'm white, but I can't tell you what it is for everyone else. I can tell you what I've saw. So I try to tell you what it is for me. And I'll get to the yard, and maybe there's a group of Aryans over here, and there's 5 or 6 of them, and they're all about keeping your word, doing what's right, looking out for their own race, and they get along with everyone, and they do business with the blacks. They get along with the blacks. They play poker with the blacks and everything, and everyone gets along. Maybe you come to that very same yard and you've got 5 or 6 white guys over there who are racist, and they don't have nothing coming from the streets, and they're trying to make a name for themselves, and they're robbing other white guys, and they look down on you if you play games with the blacks or talk to them. Maybe there's an older guy there who isn't tough, but all the young guys listen to him. Then it depends on what kind of guy he is. Is he the kind of guy who will prey on you, or is he the kind of older guy who's trying to keep shit down? And that's what's up, man. It's just like anything else in life. There's no telling what you're walking into, and you've got to be a chameleon. You have to set your morals and scruples, things that you will not do, things that you do not believe in, things that you do believe in, who you are as a person. What can you decide to live with? I always went by this. So man told me, he said, what it all comes down to, Ricky, he said, when you go and you look in the mirror, what do you see? You have to be able to respect what looks back at you. If you can't live with something, don't do it. And so that's why I always decided to be myself. I ain't going to hate nobody, how they was born or how much money they had or what they believe or what they want to do sexually. It's their own damn business, man. I really don't care. All I care about is that you keep your word with me. You look me in the eye and you tell me you're going to do something, by God, do it. Because if I look you in the eye and I tell you I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it or I'm going to die trying. I ain't going to just look you in the eye and bullshit you. I'm not ever going to try to cause you harm. I'm not going to try to take things you've worked for that are yours. I'm going to treat you with the same respect I want you to treat me with. And if you'll do that out here in the world and in prison, you're going to be okay anywhere you go. That's for sure. In Oklahoma, no one has the keys. I've heard people talk about who has the keys. The keys, when people say that, in some places, in some prison, in other states, someone will have the keys to the yard or to the unit. And that basically means they're deciding, they're running the show, they're the shot caller. They go and do that key. The white guy that has the keys will go and discuss things that has the black guy that has the keys, and they will try to keep peace or make war. Oklahoma ain't like that. You come in, you're your own person, throw you in there, depending on the kind of yard it is, depends on what kind of chameleon you got to be, what you want to be, because we all wear different masks. You are not the same person when you visit your mother's, your wife's mother and father that you are when you're just with your wife, or vice versa. If you're a woman, you're not the same just around your husband as you are around his parents. We all wear different hats, different masks, depending on who we are around. You're not the same when you go in and visit your kids at school as you are with your kids at home. Everyone is different on some level. And that's what it is in prison. That's what it has to be. You have to get there. You have to look around, see what the rules are, see who you're dealing with, what the rules are where you're at, and then you have to adjust to that. All the while never breaking your own morals and scruples. That's what you have to do if you find yourself in that situation. The best thing for you to do is to look around if you're free, realize that you are free. If there's things in your life you don't have, pick them out, work toward getting them. Don't break the law. Don't let no one make it worse for you, man. You don't want to go to prison. You don't want to find yourself there. Then you're at the bottom. You got to work your way out of the hole before you can even start building. So try not to even get in that hole in the first place. You feel me? The next two videos coming up are going to be back in my story, and they're going to be back to back. And I hope to see you in those videos. They'll be a little longer. They're quite a long little story that goes together, both of them. So there'll be a part 1 and part 2 to that. Appreciate you dropping in on the video today. I hope I've touched on some of the things people ask me. I know I rambled a bit, but I hope you got some information out of that. I hope you guys are all doing well. I hope you're doing well. You. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope to see you in the next video. Until then, may God bless, keep and protect you and yours. Shout out to the riders and dyers who ride till the wheels fall off and the dyers keep riding even when they do. Peace out.